What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So as you all know, today is indeed Wednesday, which means the new summit is now live here at Motorfest. And with that, we will have no guts, no glory. That will bring us a chance to get the BMW M4 CLS. Now, to be honest, I'm going to say it off the bat, bro. This summit is probably going to be pretty sweaty, man. It's most likely on the side of sweaty without a doubt in my mind. But with this one, guys, we will have an escape, a slalom, and a speed trap. Before anybody does say it, I will also have my pro settings at the end of the video if you want to check it out. I have been messing around with that a bit more, and honestly, it's been pretty dang fun, man. But for the first one here, we will have an escape. For this, you will have to pick a McLaren. To be honest, I did try a few different vehicles on this, guys. I did end up trying the regular P1. I also did end up using the McLaren Senna. And to be honest, dude, I really think the P1 Goldline Edition was just better overall, at least for me. I did end up getting the route down a bit, which honestly, guys, the route I do end up taking in this, I would highly recommend it. I probably feel like that's most likely the best way to do it. For the slalom, though, this one really is probably the easiest one to do here. Jump in the BMW, a half score breaker, and that is honestly it, bro. This one is super simple, nothing too insane there. And it's kind of hilarious because these slaloms are almost a bit brainless now. For the last one here on the speed trap, guys, now before you say it, yes, you can easily probably cheese this one by most likely jumping off the mountain. But to be honest with you, yeah, I didn't really feel like doing that, so I pretty much did end up putting a regular chemist set on the 911 Carrera 4S Timeless, and I got 244.9 miles per hour, man. I'm just going to leave it there. Nothing too insane, but if you're looking for a maxed out score or close to it, then yes, you will most likely have to pretty much jump off the mountain, but to be honest, I don't really feel like doing that. Besides that, though, the first event here on the top right, guys, for this one, it will be vehicle owned, and you will also have to use the Liberty Walk McLaren. To be honest, a regular build on this car, like fair PvP, man, it's actually pretty dang good if I'm being real. Handles pretty well, and also you guys will easily be very familiar with this event. Do not be afraid to cut some of the corners and stuff like that to get the checkpoints, but to be honest, dude, I feel like most people are probably going to recognize many of these events, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember this. Speaking of that, the second one here, guys, there will be no nitrous on this. You will also have to use the BMW M5, and to be honest, this event has the jumps and the different things, and yeah, I feel like a lot of players might not be the biggest fan of this race, and the biggest thing I can recommend is honestly, just go as fast as you can, bro. You will not have nitrous, so there will be a learning curve there with trying to keep the speed up on your vehicle. I would also recommend maybe trying manual to keep your speed up, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily, necessary. The other event besides that, though, is also vehicle owned. For this, you will have to use the 911 GT. And again, guys, this event, you most likely have seen it very recently, as I think it was in a summit maybe I think it was like a week and 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think we just saw this event, so there will be some cuts there that you can easily miss. But besides that, watch out for the curbs. You can kind of slide all over the place and cook yourself. And yeah, we don't really want that, do we? Besides that, the next one here is beat us in cockpit view. Yes, guys, you will have to be in cockpit view on this event. You will also have to use the Liberty Walk McLaren. Now, there's one big tip here. This is also on the racetrack. So, yes, you will have to use a chemist set, but you can also run iron grip as you guys see me here. It will definitely make this race easier. One of the biggest reasons for that is down to the simple fact that you do not have to pit at all in this event when you're doing it. So I would recommend trying to get like an iron grip perk on like a full set or something. That will help tremendously with this event. And then for the next event here, you will not be able to use ESP, which funny part is I have not been using this basically since launch. And also, guys, this event in the BMW M5 is also a made in Japan event. So I feel like a lot of players will end up recognizing this one. You'll be able to figure out the cornering and stuff like that even without ESP. And to be honest, I would say this event really is fairly simple. For the last race here, though, this one is also on the shorter side, guys. I gotta admit something. This entire event to me just screams one thing: slipstreaming. And if you're a solo player, you really can't do much of anything about that. I mean, obviously, you can't slipstream yourself, am I right? But for this event, though, it is also, not only is it manual, but you also have no nitrous. So you guys can probably see where that is going. Slipstreaming somebody will make you faster, but I also feel like it kind of like makes you have to almost do it in this event if you're looking for a top time on it, which I gotta admit is a bit unfortunate. Overall, though, I would say the summit was pretty entertaining. I did like the different like mix modifiers on the events. To be honest, the events itself, I mean, we've seen them so many times already, as I feel like every summit has the same ones. But overall, though, I feel like if you guys are going after this car, definitely be ready to try hard, because I feel like a lot of players will want this thing. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments below. Let's jump right into this.